Hello everyone, my name is Kaite and today I'm going to show you how to crochet these adorable Christmas sweater garland. It is an easy pattern, works up very quickly. You can make it into a garland or you can use it as Christmas ornaments. For this project I used number 4 medium weight yarn. I have it in green, white and red. And you're also going to need your 3.5mm crochet hook. Using color A, for me it's going to be white. We're going to start with the slip knot and a chain of 14. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now, without twisting it, go ahead and slip stitch using the first chain right over here and slip stitch. For round 1, we're going to start by chaining 2. This chain 2 doesn't stand for a stitch. Back into that same stitch where we slip stitched into, we're going to work 1 double crochet. I'm going to hold on to this yarn tail to work it in. And now all we need to do for round 1 is work 1 double crochet around, and at the end we should have 14 double crochets. Pick up each chain and work 1 double crochet. Continue working on your double crochets around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. We'll move on together. I'm coming to the end of round 1 and I have 1 chain left. I'm going to go ahead and work my last double crochet using that chain, and at the end we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 double crochets. And to end this round, we're going to use our first double crochet right over here. So skip this chain 2 and use the double crochet stitch and go ahead and slip stitch. To end the round, go ahead and cut your yarn and also cut this yarn tail right over here. Here we finished round 1 and we have a total of 14 double crochets. For round 2, we're going to start with the color B, and color B will be our main color of the sweater. And right over here where we finished our round 1 into this double crochet, the first double crochet, go ahead and insert your hook using that stitch. And now wrap the new color around the hook and pull through. Hold on to the yarn tails. And for round 2, we're going to start with the chain 4. This chain 4 stands as the first double crochet with the chain 1. Here's 3 and 4. Now go back into that same stitch and work 1 double crochet. I'm holding on to this yarn tails. Let's go ahead and find the next stitch and work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, and work 1 double crochet using that same stitch. Again, find your next stitch and work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. All worked into that same stitch. We can go ahead and cut this yarn tails. And let's continue. We're going to repeat this pattern. We're going to find our next stitch, and into that stitch work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet worked into that same stitch. We're basically working a V-stitch. Again, into the next stitch work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Repeat again into the next stitch, work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. Continue working on this pattern and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 14 sets. I'm coming to the end of round 2 and right over here I have 1 stitch left. Let's go ahead and work the last V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, all worked into that same stitch. And to end this round, we need to slip stitch using the top of the 3rd chain. So here's 1, 2, 3. Using that chain, pick up both loops and slip stitch to end round 2. And at the end, we have a total of 14 V-stitches. Before we cut our yarn and move on, let's go ahead and slip stitch using the chain 1 right here. So go ahead and slip stitch, and now you can cut your yarn. This way it'll be easier. Pull out your hook, and now using color C, for me it's red, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook using that chain 1 where we just slip stitched into. Insert your hook there. Now bring in your new color and wrap it around the hook and pull through. Hold on to the yarn tails, and once again let's go ahead and start same way by chaining 4. This chain 4 stands as the first double crochet with the chain 1. Go back into that same chain 1 space and work 1 double crochet. So right here we worked our first V-stitch. Now find your next chain 1 space, which is right here, and remember I'm holding on to this yarn tails, and into that chain 1 we're going to work a V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, all worked into that same chain 1 space. Let's repeat again. We're going to go into the chain 1 space, so you're skipping these double crochets, and right over here is the chain 1 space, and work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, all worked into that same space, chain 1 space. You can cut this yarn tails, and let's go ahead and repeat the same pattern. Into the next chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Again, go into the next chain 1 space and work a V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. You're going to continue on this pattern, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. We'll move on together, and at the end you should have 14 V-stitches. I'm coming to the end of round 3, and right over here I have my last chain 1 space, and I need to work my last V-stitch using that chain 1 space. And to end this round, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch using the top of the 3rd chain. So start from the bottom. Here's 1, 2, 3, and using that chain, go ahead and slip stitch. And one more time, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch using that chain 1 space and cut your yarn. And this ends round 3, and we have a total of 14 V-stitches. For round 4, we're going to go back to color B. For me, it's green. And right here where we finished round 3, this chain 1 space, go ahead and start there. Going to hold on to the yarn tails and chain 4. This chain 4 stands as the first double crochet with the chain 1. And into that chain 1 space, go ahead and work your double crochet. Right here we worked our first V-stitch. Into the next chain 1 space, which is right here, we're going to work a V-stitch. We're going to work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, all worked into that same chain 1 space. Now right here, this chain 1 space and this chain 1 space we're going to skip. So we're going to skip this V-stitch and this V-stitch. So 2 V-stitches we're going to skip, and into the 3rd V-stitch or the chain 1 space, go ahead and work your next V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. Right here will be our sleeve area, and let's go ahead and work 4 more V-stitches. So right here we worked on 1, and we need to work 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to use the chain 1 spaces. Here's 1. Go into the next V-stitch and work your next V-stitch. Again, find your chain 1 and work your V-stitch. And let's go ahead and do that one more time. Find your next chain 1 space and work your V-stitch. And at the end, we should have a total of 5 V-stitches. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we need to skip these 2 V-stitches. So we're going to skip this chain 1, skip this chain 1, and move on to the following chain 1 space and work a V-stitch. And right here where we skip these 2 V-stitches, or the chain 1s, will be our second sleeve. And all we need to do is just work 1 V-stitch using this chain 1 space and 1 V-stitch using the following chain 1 space. So let's go ahead and finish this round. And on this side, we're going to have 5 V-stitches as well. We have 1, 2, 3, and right over here we have the first one that we started and then the second one. And together we have 5. We're going to end this round same way. Find the top of the 3rd chain and go ahead and slip stitch. Don't cut your yarn. We're going to continue using the same yarn. For round 5, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch using that chain 1 space, chain 4, work 1 double crochet back into that same chain 1 space, and now we're going to continue and work our V-stitches using the chain 1 spaces or the V-stitches from the previous round. So here's the next one. So you're skipping the sleeves. Don't work anything in the sleeve area. Just continue working on your V-stitches. And at the end, you should have a total of 10. And then I'll meet you back. We'll finish this round together. At the end of round 5, we have a total of 10 V-stitches. And to end this round, we're going to find the 3rd chain. Here's 1, 2, 3. Using that chain, go ahead and slip stitch. For round 6, we're going to repeat round 5. We're going to slip stitch to get into that chain 1 space. And using that chain 1 space, we're going to start by chaining 4. This chain 4 stands as the first double crochet with the chain 1. Work 1 double crochet using that same chain 1 space. You're going to skip these double crochets and find your chain 1 space right here. And into that chain 1 space, work a V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, all worked into that same chain 1 space. And you're going to repeat this pattern. You're going to find your next V-stitch, and using that chain 1 space, you're going to work a V-stitch, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet, all worked into that same chain 1 space. Continue working on this pattern all around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 6. You should have a total of 10 V-stitches. At the end of round 10, we have a total of 10 V-stitches. And to end this round, we're going to slip stitch using the top of the 3rd chain. And now go ahead and slip stitch using the chain 1 space right here and cut your yarn. For round 7, we're going to use color C, which is red for me. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook using that chain 1 space where we just finished. Wrap your yarn around the hook and pull through. Hold on to the yarn tails and go ahead and chain 1. Going back into the same chain 1 space, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So right here will be 1. And then go back into that same chain 1 space and work your second single crochet. I am holding on to my yarn tails. Now you're going to go ahead and find your next V-stitch. So you're skipping these 2 double crochets and then into this V-stitch, the chain 1 space, work 2 single crochets. Here's 1. Go back into that same chain 1 space and work your second single crochet. And you're going to repeat this pattern. You're going to skip these 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space, work 2 single crochets. 1 and then 2. using that same chain 1 space. I'll cut this yarn tails later, and that's the pattern. So let's go ahead and skip these double crochets into the chain 1 space, work 2 single crochets. Find your next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochets. Again, find your next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochets. Continue working on this pattern, and at the end you should have 20 single crochets. At the end of round 7, we have a total of 20 single crochets. To end this round, we're going to go ahead and find our first single crochet, and we're going to go ahead and slip stitch using that first single crochet. Slip stitch, and now go ahead and cut your yarn. Now right here where we slip stitched into, we're going to use that same stitch, and we're going to go ahead and insert our hook, and then we need our color A. For me it's white, which is right here, and go ahead and wrap the new color around your hook and pull through. For round 8, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. This chain 2 doesn't stand for a stitch. Back into the same stitch where we slip stitched into, we're going to go ahead and work 1/2 double crochet. Find your next stitch and work 1/2 double crochet using that stitch. I am holding on to my yarn tails. Let me try one more time. Again, find your next stitch and work 1/2 double crochet using that stitch. And that's the pattern. Is into each stitch around you're going to work 1/2 double crochet, and at the end of this round you should have 20 half double crochets. Continue working on this pattern, and I'll meet you at the end of round 8. At the end of round 8, this is how it looks like, and we work a total of 20 half double crochets around. Let's go ahead and find our first half double crochet. So you're skipping this chain 2 right here, and into the first half double crochet stitch, go ahead and slip stitch, chain 1, and you can cut your yarn. And to weave in this yarn tail, all I'm going to do is just using my hook, I'm going to find any loops of the stitches and just wrap the yarn tail around and pull through. And one more time, find any of the loops that you can from the stitches and just wrap the yarn tail around and pull through, and you can go ahead and cut the yarn tail. And now this is how our sweater is looking so far. We're going to go ahead and add sleeves next. To work on the sleeves, we're going to go ahead and use color B and then color A to make the cuff right here. And it's actually very easy to make, and I'll show you how to do that next. Using color B, which is green for me, we're going to go ahead and come right into this area right here where we skipped the V stitches, the 2 V stitches, and into this space. So don't go into the space right here where we have the green V stitch, but come right into the space next to it. And you're going to insert your hook into that space and wrap the green color around, or whatever color you're using, color B. You're going to go ahead and chain 2. This chain 2 doesn't stand for a stitch. Back into that same area, you're going to go ahead and work 1 double crochet. So we're using that space right before that skipped V stitch, or the chain 1 right here. Into this chain 1 space, or the V stitch, we're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets, and I am holding on to my yarn tail. Here's 1 double crochet. Go back into that same chain 1 space and work a double crochet. We are not chaining in between, we're just working double crochets. So far we worked the chain 2, and then we have 3 double crochets. Into the space between the V stitches, right over here, we're going to work 2 double crochets. Here's 1, and go back into that same space and work another double crochet. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Into the V stitch, or the chain 1 space, we're going to work 2 double crochets. Here's 1, and work one more double crochet back into that same chain one space. And to end, we're going to find the space, so right into the space, so right here where the double crochet ends, or the V-stitch right here, this double crochet, we have this space right here. Into that space between this V-stitch and this V-stitch, go ahead and work one double crochet. In total, we should have 8 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to end this round, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch using the first double crochet. So skip this chain 2 and work a slip stitch using the first double crochet. This ends round 1 for the sleeve. For round 2, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. This chain 2 doesn't stand for a stitch. And back into that same stitch where we slip stitched into, we're going to work one double crochet. And now we're just going to work one double crochet around. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And to end round 2, we're going to slip stitch using the first double crochet of this round. Now for round 3, we're going to repeat round 2. We're going to start by chaining 2, go back into that very first stitch where you slip stitched into and work a double crochet. And we need to work one double crochet using each stitch around. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To end this round, go ahead and find your first double crochet and go ahead and slip stitch using that double crochet stitch. And now you can go ahead and cut this yarn. And this is how the sleeve looks like so far. Let's go ahead and work on the cuff next. Using color A, for me it's white. You can actually use any color you like, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go back into where we slip stitched into. So right over here where we finished round 3, we're going to start using that same stitch. Wrap the new color around the hook, same exact way as before. Pull through, hold on to the yarn tails, chain 1. And now for round 4, all we're going to do is just work one single crochet around. So right here where we chained 1, we need to go back and work one single crochet using that same stitch. And work one single crochet using all the stitches around. So you should have a total of 8 single crochets. Here's 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and cut this yarn tail so they're out of the way. Sorry if you can hear that, it's kind of windy outside. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this round ends round 4. Let's go ahead and slip stitch using the first single crochet to end this round. Chain 1 and cut your yarn. Pull out your hook and hide your yarn tail same way as before using our hook. This is our sleeve, and now go ahead and work the same thing to this sleeve. Here we finished our sweater, and to hang these, what we're going to do is you need to cut a piece of yarn. Mine is about 11 inches long, and right here where we have our neckline, we're going to fold it in half and find the center. So pick up the stitch from the front and then the stitch from the back. And right here, using this piece of yarn, you're going to go ahead and insert the hook using that loop and pull through only one side of the yarn. The other one should just stay in the back. And now you're just going to eyeball it and just kind of make a knot. And then you can even make this shorter and cut the tails. And now using this hook, you're going to bring this knot and kind of hide it on the inside. And if it's shifting on you, you can just add a little bit of glue. You can even use ornament hooks if you like. I went ahead and I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 sweaters. Now you can make any amount of sweaters you like. It just depends on how long your garland is. And for the garland, what I did is I used this sparkly yarn by Loops and Threads. It's called the Squeaky Clean, and the color is red. And I used 2 strands of this yarn and I chained until it is measuring at about 71 inches long. But you don't have to work 71-inch garland. You can make it any desired length you like, depending on what look you're going for. If you don't have this yarn, you can use regular yarn, you can use ribbon, you can use cord, anything will do. You just want something where you can hang the little sweaters onto. And then all I did is just using the garland, I just went ahead and I just used these loops we created and just placed them on the inside, like so, and then adjust them. And in between you can add beads, you can add pom-poms if you like, or just leave it plain like this. And that's pretty much it. And here's our finished garland. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.